Google Calendar is a fantastic resource, but you also need to be very careful when scheduling appointments on here. When you get into Google Calendar and to get to this location, you can go to your 9-grid Rubik's Cube, array, or waffle iron in the top right corner. If you click on here, you will see Google Calendar somewhere in usually the top part of it. It's usually in the top 6. If you click on Google Calendar, it will take you directly to your calendar. When you get into Google Calendar, you will see Calendar will be listed on the left side. You will also see a Create button right below that. You'll see your mini calendar. Then you will see listing My Calendars and then Other Calendars. Under My Calendars, you will have a default for your name, typically birthdays, and then tasks. Other calendars will typically default to holidays, and you might have another calendar below that. Whenever you schedule an appointment on the calendar, you can do so in several different ways. You can do so just by clicking on the calendar, and that will bring up an event spot. You can type in any event at this point, such as meeting with principal, but you will see that it will always default to My Calendar. When I click Create Event, you will see that the event has now been created on my calendar. At the top, you can see that a meeting has been added, and it tells you the specific date and time, and you can undo it at this point. Whenever scheduling an appointment on your calendar, and you click on a date or time, you can see that calendars always default to your calendars. When people try to schedule appointments with you, or if you are using your calendar as a homework calendar, my typical suggestion to teachers is to create a specific calendar for homework. The way that you can do this is by scrolling over to where it says My Calendars, and you will see a downward arrow to the right of that. If you click on the downward arrow, you will see it will say Create New Calendar. Click on Create New Calendar. I may name this Homework Calendar English 9. And I also might date this as the 2015-2016 calendar. If you want, you can give your calendar description. You don't need to give this a location. Now, if this is a homework calendar, I would make sure that you have share with others and making this calendar public, because when you make this calendar public, then it can be seen by parents. I would also make sure that you click on See All Events and Details, which typically is the default, so that they can see everything that you are putting on your calendar. If you are doing this with a team and you would like that your other teammates have access to your calendar, you can also add your other team members on here, such as if I had Jen Kronk, I can add her on here. But make sure that when you add your teammate, they are below your name. You can also give them different types of access to your calendar. Your teammates can just see what's going on your calendar. They can make changes to your events, or they can make changes and manage who is sharing your calendar. So decide amongst your team what sort of levels you would like to give each other, because that can also change how you want to work with your teammates. So since Jen and I are okay with managing and sharing each other's calendars, I will allow her full access to that. Make sure that when you are done with this page, you click Create Calendar. That can either be found at the bottom or at the top right of the page. Once I click Create Calendar, you will see that a pop-up will appear talking about making your calendar public, that everybody will be able to see what is going on your calendar. Well, that's what you want, especially if you want parents to be made aware of what is occurring in your class. Click the Yes button, and you will see that right now it's loading, and I should, in just a few moments, see right here on the left side that a homework calendar for my English 9 class has been created. Now, when I try and create an event on my calendar, once again, it is still going to default to my personal calendar, my default calendar. But if I click on where it says calendar options, I can then put something on my homework calendar for my English 9 class. So I might say now that we have read pages 15 through 23. Now let's say I wanted to add some more. If I click on Edit Event, I now have more choices. I can make this an all-day event. I can even make this repeating. So maybe this is a homework assignment for every Thursday. I can make sure that after 4 weeks or 4 occurrences that it is done. I can also add attachments to this. So I can add things from my Google Drive. Let's say, for example, that I have a document that I want to share with the students for them to see. I can add that document right here. I can also add a description. Don't forget that this is in to kill a mockingbird. You can also change the visibility. Now, what the visibility does at the bottom is that this will allow people to either schedule other appointments with you. This does not matter so much for a homework calendar, but these visibility settings are good to know for the future. You can also change event colors. So let's say that I wanted each class to be, or different assignments to be different colors. For example, I can make a writing assignment be blue, but I can make a reading assignment be purple. I can change the different colors. So let's say this assignment is going to be green. I can click on Save. And now I can see that this assignment is right here and it is on the calendar. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I look forward to working with you in the future.